Hello guys and welcome back to the podcast. Today's title is Generation Muppet, and what we mean by that, guys, is basically when the fuck did it become standard in society for workforces to be full of just
Muppets.
Generation Muppets?
Muppets, basically.
And what we mean by a Muppet is, I'd like to say...
Give them your definition. Go on. You can use your phone if you want. Allow it.
Oh, man. Mentally incapable.
Yeah.
Physically challenged.
Physically challenged and mentally disabled. Is that right? That's right.
That was what you said. That's what you Googled.
I Googled that.
That's what you Googled.
Yeah, that was like the definition for retard. Right, so basically, what we're trying to say is, when did it become acceptable for certain individuals to bring down, i.e. the mentally disabled, to bring down a workforce, a business, why should it become standard procedure? Because laws have been put in place
to mollycoddle these people
that are literally performing well below standard. And when we say mentally disabled, we don't mean people, like with autism and stuff like that.
We're not on about...
What we mean is people that are genuinely dregs in society, people that go for jobs massively underqualified, they've got to meet a quota, they somehow snuck through this fucking net of theirs, and then you're just like, mate, how have you been here 10 years when you can't tie your shoelaces? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it comes to a point where you see it everywhere. You see it in supermarkets, you see it in big companies. You see these people in these places and you think, how the fuck have you got here? Because someone is always holding your hand. Someone's always doing work. Oh, we just got to put up with them. And I just think, there comes a point now where we've got to get somewhere in society where you go, I'm not an advocate of taking food out of someone's mouth, but fucking hell, mate, drop that fucker right down to the bottom and actually get someone qualified. I think we're in a dangerous place in society now where there's too many people, and I've seen it time and time again, just got out the army. We both know there's so many people there that are not even... They haven't got a fucking clue what the job role is. They mind how to do it. Do you know what I mean? They just get put into them roles. So when we've both got out, we've clearly seen in society now, in Civvy Street, it's even more evident that people are in job roles that they're just not qualified for, or they're incapable of doing.
If you look, even just like a big what's been in I think it went viral on TikTok. The police, obviously now they recruit. You've got to be a fucking uni student. You've got to have a degree, haven't you now? Or they'll put you on a degree. But then it's just attracting people that are just not fit for the role.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Not suitable, not fit for the role. I'm not saying they're mentally challenged.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying...
Okay, then to be a
challenged police officer.
Yeah.
Male or female,
you've
got to fit a certain criteria. You used to have to fit a certain criteria.
You used to have to be 6 foot.
A
minimum criteria for being a police officer was 6 foot tall.
I think my nan's dad or granddad, he was like 6'7". He was a cop. He was like a fucking big ass guy.
Yeah.
And like,
they were supposed to be a figure of authority, an authoritarian. They were there. They enforced the law, and you respected the police officer. If you didn't, you get a clip.
This obviously. We've done security and stuff like that, and I'm not saying you can't, but what I am saying is, if you take it from a security point of view, if you're looking at ejecting you or fucking little Milky Bar kid, you're gonna go where more people do.
Yeah,
it's pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm not saying Milky Bar kid can't kick the fuck out of you, but I'm saying it's just everyone judges on a face value, and if you've got a copper, because people don't necessarily respect the police for various different reasons, which we did talk about before. But if you've got some little insignificant person who can't control the room, can't control their tone, can't be authoritarian, then they're just going to get walked all over.
Yeah.
The problem with
put themselves at risk. You put somebody at risk.
With a lot of, if you speak to any serving police officers now, what they're saying is they're more like social workers. They spend more time dealing with mental health issues and caring for the community.
Like you said, people just
people
just shouldn't be.
People not weekends. The police will spend most of their weekends dealing with drunk people. who've self-inflicted that state on themselves. They've overindulged to a point where they're uncontrollable and they're now a risk to themselves and society. So they have to be babysat. Generation Muppet, that's literally what they are. Like, everyone's been out and got drunk and passed out and thrown up and this, that and the other. But I don't think I've ever been in a state where I've not been able to get myself home intact.
The kids now do it crazy.
Yeah.
The kids now. I mean, I wasn't. I've never been like. I've been drunk on my 18th. That's about it.
Yeah.
But like mega drunk. But like some of the kids now that you see, fucking hell, they just don't know when to stop.
But workforces are popular. You're absolutely right. Workforces now. And is it a fact that people don't really want to work? Or is it a fact that people want to do this bare minimum? They want to do the bare minimum now at their job because they don't feel valued. We've spoke about this before, how it's been advocated on social media. Again, this comes back to social media. People are being influenced by what they've seen. Oh, you should, if you're working for a company, you should be the last one in and the first one out. You should do the bare minimum. No, you shouldn't do the bare minimum. You should do your job. You're being paid by a company to do a job. Do the job and do it to the best of your ability. Don't do the bare minimum. And that's what happens a lot. We have this generation where they want to just do the very bare minimum, but they also expect to be paid a lot more money. Yeah. They have these visions of grandeur. Oh, I work in Costa, but I want to be earning 40 grand a year. There's nothing wrong with working in Costa. You've got a job. You're standing on your own 2 feet. You're earning your own money. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're not going to earn 40 grand a year as a barista. You're not.
Yeah, but I suppose when you see people in these low-paid jobs, you can see who's there for a minute and who's going to be there for the rest of the life. Yeah. You can see someone that's there trying to pay the bills for the household, but it's like, well, how are you in this situation? Well, I had this and I had that. Well, why are you not trying to better yourself online? Why are you not trying to do online uni at the same time?
Yeah, try and do something.
Yeah, but you can see some people that it's hard to say what
they're just going through the motions.
The way I see it is the bare minimum is different for everyone. Now, I could go into a job role and have a Generation Muppet across from me, and his best effort is my minimum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I'm still doing a better job because obviously you've been in the army, so you know how sort of the brain works. Obviously, we've done slightly different roles, but you get how the brain works. I was sort of forced to learn things and how it's all structured and stuff like that. So, as you know, our brains constantly need, stimulation. We need tasks. We need to be told, right, do this, and then think for yourself. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go next one. Before you know, you're there. Fucking hell, mate. What the fuck? I've been here all day, but you've done that much because your bare minimum is someone's fucking max out. Fuck this. I've done 8 hours. I'm going home, mate. And it's like, where did we get in a society where standards are so low? Like, you come into a job and it's like, you learn on the first day what your basics are. Okay, you come well dressed, you come on time, you smell appropriate, fucking hygiene, you know what I mean? Yeah. Basic that a lot of people can't get right. Fucking you're speaking to people, don't have bad breath, don't use bad manners, sir, thank you, all that bollocks. You know what I mean? I'm just like, if that's not common sense, that's the basic standard.
But do you think that COVID has removed a lot of
do you know what?
social skills?
I've seen...
Like some of the younger generation, I see it quite a lot with like the younger people that have gone through that 16 to 18-year-old through COVID. Their social skills are diminished.
Yeah.
So they don't really know how to interact with people in the real world. Their conversational skills are very minimum because they feel like they've been closed away for a lot. They've missed out on a lot, and that's only going to impede them in their future life, because you need to be able to deal with people, and you need to be able to deal with people on all levels and all abilities. That's what makes you a sound individual. That's what makes you a worthwhile employee, being able to deal with everyone. And if you can't have the basic, if you don't have the social skills to even say good morning, good evening, hello, how can I help you to someone, how are you going to progress in your career? And it has happened. There is a generation that have got that. And I don't think it's due to their own fault, because they were hidden away. They've been kept away from schools, from college. They've missed out on that social interaction.
I'll definitely agree that point of COVID certain individuals have struggled with more, not socialised and all that stuff. I totally agree with that point. But for once, I'm not on about kids. I'm talking society where some of these guys and girls have got fucking kids. And like, we're talking anywhere between mid-20s to 60s. We're talking almost retirement age. We're talking a whole spectrum of society here. We're talking, and this is why I want to say, I'm not hunting down one generation. I'm saying a wide spectrum of 20 to 60 or 70. Some people genuinely have not got a fucking brain. And I don't mean like they're intelligent and they've got no common sense. We all know that. There's some people out there that are so intelligent, but they can't open a door for themselves. They struggle with. They'll cure cancer, but tell them how to cut the grass and like
real world application is very strange to it.
But it blows my mind that there's not even a basic standard out there. Like I'll use, for example, because you'll know, not as probably prevalent in your day when you were doing it, but now, for example, because you're more current, you've done jobs sort of now around security is a fucking massive one. Anything from fucking job centre to, and obviously security covers a wide spectrum. So anything from fucking stood on the front of B&M going, hi, to, fucking CP operators that are fucking protecting Tiger Woods, for example. There's a wide spectrum out there. And like, the standard is so low. Well, the standard isn't low. Let's say that. The basic standard to be security isn't low. What is low is what is accepted. And what pisses me off more than anything is, and you can see it when you're in security, you'll probably notice it as well, even though you haven't done it for so long. You just see it straight away. There's certain people that are dressed a certain way and they're like clones of each other. So straight away you go, they're shit. There's certain people that turn up with a certain attitude, so you go, they're shit. They're not going to think for themselves. They're not. And I'm not one of these people that necessarily always prejudges, but in these scenarios, you can only prejudge because you know what you're getting, right? And the problem I've got is now, it's prevalent, it's scary, but it's prevalent in security, is that there's certain individuals that just come into a job role and go, I've got a badge. And it's like, mate, you've done a week course. And unfortunately now, that standard isn't as high as it should be. Now, let's be honest, and take this how you fucking want, but unfortunately, facts don't care about your feelings. The basic standard in society, especially to do security, should be either both of them, understand and be able to fucking speak English. Speak and fucking understand basic English. Hello, goodbye. Are you okay? Do you need anything? Yes, no. And it's fucking scary, mate.
But so there's obviously the SA changed all the standards in 2021. It changed all the basic course and everything from 3 to 4 days to 6 days, and they put out this thing about English. They hammered it to all the instructors. They said, you've got to, if someone is not very good at English, like at the beginning of your course now, you do your English assessment. If it's fucking terrible,
2 people got dismissed from my course because they could not speak English.
And most instructors will. However, there are companies out there which you can pay their money and you don't have to do anything.
They'll just pass you.
You don't have to do anything, and that's why these non-English speakers, which in all fairness, it's not even like a I've had the same gripe as you for a long time. And it's not a racial thing, but if I went to Africa or fucking like Asia and tried to diffuse a situation between 2 non-English speaking people, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to understand the situation. I'm not going to be able to diffuse the situation. I'm not going to be able to use the right tonality. If you have two Asian guys talking in a club, they're very fucking animated. And they're talking in their own language. And sometimes are they arguing? Are they not arguing? And then, most times they're not arguing. But this is the thing, like,
it's an aggressive
because I don't understand that. And it is frustrating. Like, I've worked with people that just can't speak English, and they just get put on searches or they just get put on shit jobs or whatever. But in reality, they shouldn't have a badge. I'm not saying they shouldn't be able to work at all. Everyone should be able to work. But like, I couldn't go to your country and get a security badge. Probably, I don't think so. Probably not.
If you can't communicate, effectively,
with them,
you're not going to be able to do a job.
And that's the thing. I want to keep it as streamlined as possible. I'm not interested in all this race, and I couldn't care less. I've not got time for that bollocks. What I've got time for is security means one thing for me personally: safety. Not just safety of people that you're protecting or surroundings you're protecting, property you're protecting. It also means fucking protecting yourself
and your colleagues.
But if my colleagues are absolute Generation Muppets,
you ain't going to get protected.
Wherever you're from, wherever you were born, no one gives a shit anymore. I don't, personally. I couldn't care less. But the fact is, if that's the first vibe I get, it's, oh my God, here we go, another shirt filler. It's a scary situation to be in.
Well, I brought a situation up to you earlier. So there was a store that was recently closed in one of the shopping centres near here. And one of the reasons that they gave for closing was unreliable staff.
Yeah.
Now, retail tends to be younger people that go into retail.
Yeah.
And it's the younger people that don't seem to have the attitude of the commitment. So, like, for example, I moved out when I was quite young and I had my own place. I paid my own bills, I had my own car and everything. I was self-sufficient. I had to work. I had to earn money to pay my bills. So even if I had a job that I didn't like, I had to stick it out until I found something else because I had bills to pay. Whereas I think a lot of youngsters now, like most people up to the age of 30, are still living at home. They don't have the same pressure. They don't have the same responsibilities because they're still sheltered. So you're getting this generation of adults. They're not adults yet.
No,
they're not standing on their own 2 feet.
Yeah.
So I worked in retail when I was a student and I enjoyed it. I really liked my job. I enjoyed the company I worked for. I enjoyed my colleagues. I enjoyed it. But we had standards as well. So the business I worked for had certain standards and I was quite proud of my job and I was quite proud of what I did. And unless I was like absolutely sick, I always turned up for work. Had bills to pay, had shit that I wanted to buy, stuff that I wanted to do. Whereas I think a lot of the younger generation, they don't have that responsibility anymore. They don't have that pressure. So, and they think it's acceptable to just, I'm not going to work today. Why? Can't be asked. But that's a business that's relying on you. Like people don't understand that people are relying on you. That business is relying on that business owner or franchise owner. What is relying on you to turn up? Like if the shoe was on the other foot and you'd been in work all day, and at the end of the day the owner went, "Don't feel like paying you today." Why? Don't know. Don't feel like it. It's done all right though, but I'm not going to pay you for today. You won't have it. But it's acceptable for it to be the other way around, and you see it a lot. And I think it's because of this, things have become very unaffordable. Wages haven't really kept up with the rate of inflation. Things have become very unaffordable. 100%. So people are still at home, still living at home up until they're like well into the 30s. Yeah. They don't have the same responsibilities, so they don't have the same commitment to the job. They don't have the fear, we used to call it. Do you know what I mean? The fear of, where's my next paycheck? Where's my... oh, fuck it, I'm at home and mum will look after me. Don't need to worry about it. I'm just not going to go into work. We've gone through loads of staff in the gym. We've had to get rid of various people for various different reasons. But again, like you brought up, companies mollycoddle people now. Whereas, like when I first started into work, if you didn't do your job properly, you'd get rid of you.
Do you know what?
I've been sacked for not being able to do my job properly.
But do you know what, though, mate? I know you say mollycoddle, but I just want to make sure people know what you potentially mean by that, because people might be sat there now thinking, oh, well, yeah, my company. No, your company doesn't necessarily have to look after you because they want to. They're forced to.
They're forced to now, yeah.
And you know, one thing that really pisses me off, and this will be a future podcast, guys, but it's going to take me some time to be able to put my views down on paper and fully express them, because obviously we've all been around it, and it's a very serious, for me, it's a very serious subject. It's probably one of the most serious ones going around for now. It's not funny either. I'm genuinely not trying to be funny.
Why are you being funny then?
Oh, yeah, the problem you've fucking got is now, it's so easy. I'm not going to harp on about it because
people will just go,
it's like,
mental health.
Yeah, I'll go down this route. I'll go down it again. I'll go down it. And I've worked with people previously. they'll have an altercation. You know, they're rubbish at the job. They are a Generation Muppet. They genuinely have spun that line so long, and they've been getting paid to do wind, quite literally, and all of a sudden it's come prevalent to a manager or whatever. Whoa, actually, how have you been carrying this? Well, yeah, I've been saying it, but like, what do you want me to do? I'm not a grass, I'm not this, I'm not that. But at the end of the day, this person cannot do the job.
I experienced it myself, like something very similar on a contract that I was working, and it was a security contract, and they had in-house security, which were paid by the NHS, and then they had contract security, which used to bring in to cover. And these NHS staff, the contracted, in their contracts, they had it written that they were allowed to be off sick due to stress and mental health for up to 6 months on full pay, and it would also take into account an average of any overtime. They could then come back to work. They would only need to be in their position for a minimum of a week. They could go off again with the same stress.
Yeah.
And there was nothing that they could do. And there was people that had been there for 6-7 years and had literally worked 7 weeks.
Yeah.
7 weeks.
And does that not highlight to...
And they couldn't get rid of them.
Does that not highlight how weak as a society we've become, where all you have to literally say is, oh, do you know what, I feel down today?
Yeah.
No, because there's people out there that have genuinely got fucking depression and anxiety.
If there's genuine issues, then support them by all means. But when you can see someone that's playing the system, then hang on a minute.
But at the same time, and I'll play devil's advocate, how much of a company's issue is that? So, for example, if you joined, you had anxiety, which you don't have to declare. You had depression, which you don't have to declare because it's medical.
Yeah.
How far does it go before it's like, well, actually, you didn't get depression and anxiety on this job? Yeah. How far does it become where it's like, well, do you know what? Maybe you should be off work.
Yeah.
And
maybe this
have a job.
That's why I was going to say, like, if you've got, say, for example, I join the army.
Yeah.
I do 12 months, go through my basic training, get deployed, this, that, and the other. And then I turn around, I go to my commanding officer and say, can't deal with this, mental health.
Your face says it all. It's hurting my brain listening to you speak.
I don't know all
it's
this.
Wrong, it's all wrong. Oh.
I can't do this.
It's wrong.
I'm just making an example. So my mental health is playing up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no problem. You take a couple of months off. Take a couple of months off, come back. Do a week. Oh, it's not for me. Right. At some point, someone's got to say, do you know what? Maybe if it's stressing you out that much and causing that, maybe being in the army is not the job for you. Maybe that's what people need to start doing. So give them the benefit of the doubt, go off, come back, going off again for the same. Like this was a security thing, and these people going off with stress because they couldn't deal with the situations, the volatile situations. There's got to come a point where you would go as a manager of that business. Listen, I understand what you're saying. What I would say is, if this job is causing you stress, this isn't the job for you. You need to go. We need to manage you out of the business because you can't keep doing that. But companies are afraid to do that now.
Yeah.
Like your hands are tied. Because
I think there's sort of a... So,
like if you were a fireman and you were like, oh, I'm frightened of going into fire, you'd go, well, fireman's not the job for you then, is it?
But sort of if you've just been in a fire and they give you
that's
2 weeks to decompress.
Exactly, that's different.
Then that's normality, that's your brain going for, and then you're like, you come back in, you have a return.
You ease you back in, it's
like,
exactly.
Mate, have you got any problems at home that we need to know about?
That's managing someone, managing someone.
But that, what you're on about there, a week back in work, 6 months off, week back in work,
there's got to come a point where you're going to go, this probably isn't the job for you.
Yeah, you need kicking off a cliff or something, genuinely, like, because, like, it's not that, mate, we laugh, but it's like, what do you offer to society? What do you offer to yourself? Like, in the nicest way possible, you're a fucking bum. You're a bum. Like, who can't keep a job? I mean, I know they say there's no jobs out there, mate, but literally, like,
anyone can get a job.
you had fuck all, let's say. How easy would you find a job?
Go and get a job tomorrow.
Exactly. You could walk into a job.
There's hundreds. Anyone can,
and you have, haven't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
I've done it myself.
It's literally, oh well, I'm underqualified on this, on that, on that. I'm like, well, maybe you might not have fucked
Just
up your
go
life.
just go and find a job. If you need money, go and get a job.
Yeah.
I've had it in the past. I always worked in sales and stuff like that, and I lost a sales job. Couldn't find a sales job at the time, but the process was taking too long.
Yeah.
So I just went down to an agency, went, right, I need to earn some money. What warehousing work have you got?
Yeah.
I was in work the next day.
Yeah.
It's not
You get a job to help you buy.
It's easier to find a job when you've got a job.
Yeah.
And if you need money coming in, there's loads of things. Go and sweep the streets, whatever. But people are like, they say there's no jobs out there, but there is. They just don't want to do the job.
Fucking always a job at Mackey's.
Yeah.
There's always a job at Mackey's.
There's always a job wiping
Take some people,
tables.
They won't.
Huh?
You won't take it now. Some of them won't. You're not fucking. You haven't got a bit about yourself.
Yeah. Well, I've seen Mackey's, mate. There's a few Simps in there. Yeah. There's a few generational Muppets in there. Yeah. But this is the thing. It's like I do agree with the mollycoddling. It's like the system, as it were, is set up to mollycoddle people.
It is.
Okay, if you fuck up, there's a safety net. If you spend all your money, or you can get a loan, or you can do this, or you can do that, and it's like
You're setting people up
for failure.
Yeah.
And it's like,
whereas actually, if you give them a bit of tough love,
yeah.
stand on your own
It's
two
that
feet.
saying. I've always said it. I've always lived by that saying. Like hard
Hard times create.
times create hard men. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. Hard times create. You know what I mean? It's the same shit all the time. And that's unfortunately, that's the phase we're in at the moment. We're in the AI phase, the rich, the poor.
Yeah.
The poor are becoming more and more.
Everyone now thinks that they can pick their mobile phone up and make £1 million. You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Not always.
Some people can,
Yeah.
but not everybody.
Yeah. It's 0.0001%.
Yeah.
Like you are going to go and work at McDonald's because nothing else is going for you.
Yeah. Just
But
go and
why
get a
not
job.
go do? Why not
Just go
do that?
it. It's a great experience. Retail's a good place to
Literally.
build some good foundations for the
Exactly.
rest of your career.
Become a manager, team leader, whatever.
Doesn't even mean that you've got to stay there just because
No.
you go and do it. You just go and take a job, get some experience.
And I think that
If you go for a job interview and there's you and someone that's done nothing, and you've both got the same degree, the same qualifications, and you've actually been out there and gone, well, at the time, I couldn't find a job I wanted. So what I've done is I decided to go and work. I wanted to get in the real world, earn my own money. So I took a job at McDonald's. I started off wiping tables. I was good. They put me flipping burgers, this, that, and the other. Then I was duty manager, and I've been doing that for 12, 18 months while I've been waiting for an opportunity. Do you know what? The person that's interviewing you is going to give you that job over the person that's sat there going, well, I've done nothing. I've been on job seekers, this, that, and the other. They've got nothing about them.
literally. And
whereas you've shown get up and go. You've shown initiative. You've shown you've made the best of a bad situation. You've gone out there and stood on your own 2 feet. That is going to open more doors for you. That person's going to think this guy's a go-getter. He wants to get up and go and do stuff. He wants to earn money. He wants to stand on his own 2 feet. That's the kind of guy I want in my thingy. I don't want this person that's sat on their arse for 18 months on free money doing nothing. I want the guy that's out there being dynamic, actually putting an effort into making something of himself.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem sometimes as well. We say Generation Muppet, you know, and I'm like mentally challenged and mentally disabled and stuff like that. But I genuinely, a lot of time, it's just down to they can't be fucking arsed.
No.
And they're that lazy mentally, but it's like if you watch someone's routine and like you always say figure and stuff like that. Well, you don't go to the gym, you don't do this, you don't do that.
Yeah.
It says a lot about you as a person, and it's frustrating when other people have to carry your weight, but you're still collecting an income. It's fucking frustrating, and unfortunately, society at the moment is designed to do that.
But do you know, like we're the only country that will support that. Like you can't move to America now. You can't jump on a plane, go to America and go, may I give me some money? Straight back home. You can't go to Dubai and say, give me some money, give me free money, give me a house, give me a phone. Isn't it happening?
Got to have £90 in your bank to go around Spain now.
Exactly. But we will do it. People
£90
every day in your bank, otherwise they kick you out.
Fair one.
So do you know what I mean? So we promote that.
Yeah.
And we've got generations that are growing up where that's what their parents do.
Yeah.
So that's what they look up to. You do become a product of your environment. And if your parents are and I'm not saying it all, like my parents are working class, we come from nothing, but they encouraged us. They encouraged both me and my sister to be better than them.
Yeah.
They didn't encourage us to sit around on our ass or whatever. They encouraged us to be better. And both me and my sister have made something of ourselves. But there are a lot of parents out there that their example that they're setting for their thingies or sit around and get free money.
And that's the problem, mate. We are, as a whole, and it hurts me to say, but we are becoming a failed society, and it's slowly getting worse and worse. And it's hard to say, but if you speak to anyone with half a brain, or anyone that's got a bit of money, or anyone that's got assets, houses, whatever, how many of them are telling you that they want to stay here? Because I'll tell you, I fucking don't.
No.
As soon as I've got the money, I'm gone. Like, literally, I don't want to be in the UK. There's nothing to be here for.
We pay out the most amount of money than anywhere. We pay more taxes and we get the least. You only have to take a drive down the road and see what state our roads are in.
Exactly.
Considering we pay road tax, council tax, income tax, VAT.
Road tax to offset emissions.
Yeah, we pay everything out and we get nothing back in return.
Nothing, mate.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
We tax the highest. We pay out the most of anywhere. Go anywhere else in Europe, don't have the same problems. Go anywhere else in the world, don't have the same
It's
problems.
like this guy was saying to me the other day, and it's following that subject of potholes and stuff like that. He said, you go, the way the system is designed, he said, you go to France, you don't see one pothole.
No.
Because their society's dwindled down so small. A village has got its own council. Right, we'll deal with that shit. Then the next one, then the next one, the next.
Yeah.
Here, it's just designed for everything to be privatised and everything to be taxed. So you get the most taxation and you keep the least amount of money. And then you get fuck all for your return and you're just the guy here that's sat working, grinding his bollocks off. And then you've got, you know, people that are sat around doing fuck all. Granted, there is certain people, you know, disabled, etc., all that stuff, I get all that. But there's certain people that never worked a fucking day in their life.
No.
And
if you've never worked and you've never contributed to the system, you shouldn't be able to get anything out.
But then my point is, how are you ever expected to get a job? Because you've got no drive, got no qualifications, got fuck all. And you're just going to sit there and go, why do I give a fuck anyway? You're still going to give me money. Granted, it's not a quality of life that I want, but it's quality of life that I'm happy with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'll settle for that. I'll settle for 5 of us living in a house and we're all bums. I'm not arsed, because I still get to wear my night TNs. I still get to rock around the street with my shit haircut. Do you know what I mean? Obviously mine's fucked at the moment, but
that's not aspirational. And then you look at
that's what the system breeds.
Yeah, but then you look at like someone like, again, we'll bring up Andrew Tate. So he's out there trying to inspire young guys to be more, to do more, to be successful. That's what he is. If you look at his content now, he's not quite as controversial. He's very much pro getting people out there to change their lives, to better their life, to enrich their life. He's saying his content is out there now to make people's lives better. He's having a big impact on people. So are people starting to wise up? Are people starting to realise, well, just sitting and claiming 86 quid a week or whatever is not enough. It's not going to give me the things I want. I'm never going to go to this place. I'm never going to drive that car. So how am I going to get it? What am I going to do?
Yeah. But I just think there's a certain aspect of society now where it's expected to earn. Like, I don't care that I'm shit at my job. I'll still turn up. I'll still get paid.
Yeah, I'll do the bare minimum. And
for some people, they're in a very advantageous position. You know, there's people out here that are grafting, and I mean grafting, and they're earning, you know, 3K a month or whatever. To some people, that's good. To some people, it's average. Some people, it's low, whatever. But there's other people out here that are literally stealing away 5-6 grand a month, working in these big ass companies, and I ain't got a fucking clue what they're doing.
No.
And well, you can't get rid of. Do you know what? It's too much. You know, my dog's got fleas, so I need to go home. And do you know what? Now he's pissed all over the floor. Mental health, 6 months off.
Yeah.
And then it's like, do you
yeah.
know what? You've had 6 months off. Can you remember the job? Not. Did you ever fucking know the job? Can you remember the job? Not really.
Okay, so we need to retrain you now. So go through the whole process again.
Yeah. So I don't know. For me, I'm just going to end it on, I think society as a whole needs to fucking change.
It needs a reality check.
It needs a very big... People themselves need a fucking reality check.
They need to stand up and become accountable. Yeah. Take responsibility for their own actions in the future. Like, sitting around waiting for free money is not going to get you the things that you want. going into work and doing the bare minimum. Okay, you might not like your job, but you're there for fucking 8 hours. You might as well have fun. Try and enjoy it, because you're there in your job longer than you're probably at home. So why do the bare minimum? I mean, again, we've had it before. Like, I used to know lots of security people, and they got into security because they could sit around all day and do nothing. Where's your job satisfaction?
I get it, but then the point is, if you turn up and go, mate, what's SIA stand for?
Yeah.
You don't go. You actually go, all right, it stands for this. And you're just like, right, okay, so you know the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You're off decent at your job. So.
I do get there's people out there that just want an easy life and they're happy earning X amount of money and this, that, and the other, and that's fine. That's their path they've chosen. But, you know, these Generation Muppet who were like playing the system and getting away with this and being mollycoddled. And I think companies, like I say, need to start being a bit more harsh and getting rid of people.
Yeah,
holding them accountable. More proactive, yeah. Don't be afraid.
Aren't cutting the.
Yeah, they're not cutting it.
They aren't cutting the mustard. I mean,
slicing the cheese.
Oh, you love that, don't you? Nah, that's not one. Right, I'm happy though, mate. I'm happy. I've had my little rant about useless fuckers.
Good. Well done. Can you take your hat off now, please?
No.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Jeez.
Go on then, take it off.
No.
It's not recording now. It's finished.
That fuckery.